Professor Akin-Olugbade Soyinka. Can I have the song now? Can I have the song? I ordered this song specially for you. Chancellor, sir, this is a citation. This is a citation. Before I give the citation, I would like to call upon Mrs. Forake Soyinka. Emeritus Professor Akin-Olugbade Soyinka, poet, playwright, novelist, compelling essayist, director, road marshal, hunter, connoisseur of wine, activist, diplomat of moral courage. It has been noted that this particular honorary doctorate degree was originally awarded in 1987. That was 27 years ago, 1 year after his winning the Nobel Prize for Literature. This is due season. For like vintage wine, the longer it takes, the sweeter and the better. Not many celebrated icons in Nigeria have achieved so much in terms of global recognition on account of outstanding literary output as well as patriotic sacrifice as Professor Akin-Olugbade Soyinka. Born on Friday, July 13, 1934, Soyinka began his academic journey at St. Peter's Primary School, Ake, in Abeokuta, at age of 3. He gained admission on scholarship into the renowned Government College Ibadan, GCI, and proceeded to University College Ibadan, UCI, and later on to the University of Leeds, where he bagged his BA degree. From 1958 to 1959, he worked as a dramatist at the Royal Court Theatre in London. He returned to Nigeria in 1960 and founded the famous theatre group, the 1960 Mask. In 1964, he also founded the Orisun Theatre Company, on which platform he produced some of his written plays. This included The Swamp Dwellers and The Lion and the Jewel, which were performed in Ibadan in 1958 and 1959 respectively, and were published later in 1963. Shortly after his return from England, he took up an appointment as a research fellow in drama from 1960 to 1961. Between 1961 and 1967, Soyinka established himself as a major African playwright as well as academic. He held the position of lecturer in English at the University of Ife, 1962 to 1963, and in 1965, he was appointed as senior lecturer in English at the University of Lagos, where he subsequently became head of department. He was appointed as the first African director of the University of Ibadan School of Drama in 1967. Soon after then, he was arrested in August of the same year for his pacifist activities to stop the Nigerian Biafran War. He was jailed by the Nigerian authorities for 28 months and 22 days, most of which is spent in solitary confinement. After his release in October 1969, Soyinka returned to the University of Ibadan and took up the headship of the newly established Department of Theatre Arts. Soyinka left Ibadan in 1972 and was appointed later at the University of Ife as Professor of Comparative Literature in 1975. He retired from Ife in 1985. As a writer, his fame attained global and legendary status when he became not only the first African, but the first black person anywhere in the world to win the world's most coveted prize for literary achievement, the Nobel Prize in 1986. Emeritus Professor Oluwole Akinwande Soyinka has been described as a consistently courageous voice for human rights world over and a force in national politics. He is both prolific and profound. At the last count, between A Dance of the Forest 1960 and Alakpata Akpata 2011 and Harmattan Haze on an African Spring 2012, Professor Soyinka has published over 40 titles in the major literary forms and some genres, including prose, poetry, drama, translation, and film. The body of his writings speaks truth to power and grips tyranny in the jugular with such metaphors of lightning and metonymies of thunder that only Soyinka himself can craft with absolute ease. It is an understatement to say that Wole Soyinka is an overly talented and compulsive writer. Legend has it that he wrote The Trials of Brother Jero in just 72 hours at the request of that equally talented thespian and director, Professor Dapo Adeluba. Professor Soyinka is also famed for his capacity to recall and memorize things photographically. After his release from prison in 1969, having lost some of his prison notes, which he would later collect in The Man Died, he was able to recall 3 chapters of the notes, line for line, word for word. The narrative concluded, the story concluded that when he later found the lost notes and compared, it was like a photocopy. His significance is global and local, so we shall say his significance is glocal. At the last count, WS has to his credit over 100 national and international awards, prizes, trophies, inductions, decorations in 5 continents: Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America. I cannot capture them all in just one brief breath, but suffice to refer to one of those symbolic gestures in honor of Professor Soyinka. By a special legal pronouncement on November 4, 2003, the Council of the City of New Orleans, US, unanimously agreed to honor and immortalize Wole Soyinka by declaring November 4, every year, as Wole Soyinka Day. As you can see, that is my dilemma, and that is where the story stops. To put it simply, without metaphors, Wole Soyinka is Wole Soyinka. Chancellor, if it is to cite and recite the profile and accolade of Wole Soyinka, let me refer to the title of one of Professor Karim Baba's books, which itself is a borrower from the repertoire of my Yoruba poetic lore. If it is about Wole Soyinka, I can speak until tomorrow. But am I permitted to tell the story of Akinwande in prose? Am I permitted to raise a million metaphors in praise of a man who has blazed so many trails, fought many fights against injustice, against all kinds of dictatorship, a man who, by writing in all the major genres of literature, has out-Shakespeared Shakespeare? So let me speak not in prose, graphically, of Wole Soyinka in 3 pentameters. Ọkùnrin, Ogun, Ẹni, Ogun, Ogun's incarnate and votary. Ẹni Ogun, pacifist warrior. Ẹni Ogun, Ogun statesman of Ijegba extraction. Olohun Iyo, the one whose mellifluous voice captured the attention of a continent. Kongi, Kako, Kapun, Father Courage, compound of spells, the personification of Invictus, the unconquered and unconquerable energy, spirits in the face of adversity and tyranny. At 80 years, 4 months and 5 days today, Professor Wole Soyinka borrows the tongue of the Abiku child, coming and going these several seasons, but insisting that his country's change shall not be charmed circles at his feet, in quest of excellence and justice. In reference to the quality of man and moral courage, the words of Martin Luther King becomes apt. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at the time of challenge and controversy. In classical times, Aristotle said of the statesman, what the statesman is most anxious to produce is a certain moral character in his fellow citizens, namely, a disposition to virtue and the performance of virtuous actions. Apart from his identity as a scholar, Wole Soyinka is equally a patriot and an elder statesman in the pure and antiseptic definition of the terms elder and statesman. He has been engaged with the fate of the Nigerian nation as a faithful, implacable, and inveterate critic of all kinds of tyranny in high and low places since Nigeria's independence in 1960 till present time. To Soyinka himself, under a dictatorship, a nation ceases to exist. All that remains is a fiefdom, a planet of slaves regimented by aliens from outer space. Chancellor, sir, ladies and gentlemen, this is Emeritus Professor Wole Soyinka, simply WS. This is our salutation to his gods, the horseman of fluent and confounding words, the one who has been the interpreter of the open soul of a continent, he who set forth at dawn from Ake through Apata Ganga, Ibadan to Leeds, becoming the toast of the world, of literary pundits and other philosophers. Always on the road, in the forest, and even as a swamp dweller, he has engaged giants and rodents, the Brother Jeros and the King Babus of this world. One of the original strong breeds, he has challenged both madmen and specialists in the season of anomy. His life is tied to the burden of memory. To those who have caused him the pain to write prison notes, Soyinka has been the muse of forgiveness. He is the shuttle in the crypt, the calm wood on the leaves, courage in the climate of fear, the scourge of hyacinths and demons and fake futurologists. He is the interventions, outrage against prodigals and prostitutes of power. He is the one who always insists that the man dies in all who keep silent in the face of tyranny. In any people that submit willingly to the daily humiliation of fear, the man dies. Before our very eyes, And in his own life, this is the beatification of WS. His homecoming trophy is finally here for the taking. Today, Wole Soyinka, the lion, claims the jewel in his own habitat. This is Wole Soyinka. This is Ibadan. This is the cradle of pain and belonging. I now request you, Chancellor, by the recommendation of Senate and Council, to admit Emeritus Professor Wole Soyinka, our own WS, to the degree of Doctor of Letters of the University of Ibadan.
By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Letters of the University of Ibadan.
Thank you.